Well, one of my sort of top tips that I have for gardeners or newer gardeners is to always slow down. Don't be so quick to do things. And that applies to a lot of things. Even seeing a plant in distress, I may not jump on it right away, but one of the things I'd like to talk about today is weeds. And weeds are basically unwanted plants. There's no difference between a weed and something you want, other than if you don't want it, you call it a weed. But I think it pays to know in your area what is a weed and what's not a weed. And sometimes when you see something small start to pop up, let's say like that, it can be worth letting it grow a little bit. Before I would go and I would pull everything I would see. I mean, this spurge is obviously a weed. I need to get in and take care of that. But I have a lot of things that are not weeds, like that. That is not a weed. So that is a dwarf Mexican petunia or Ruellia. And this is, you can see it's flowering. They flower. And these do seed themselves around pretty well, but that's okay, because one of the things that help to tie a garden over together is repetition and repeating the same plants in different areas. So if I were to guess, maybe 20 or more of these small dwarf Mexican petunias. It's Ruellia. They're not really, they just kind of came out of a flower cycle, but you can see the purple flower. And these are really great. They form these nice mounding clumps, and I'm going to use these as ground cover. I don't have them in really any other bed, but I'm going to start spreading them around. So I'll show you a few other things that I found in my yard this year. So over here is my Turk's cap. There was 4 plants over here, and they were flowering prolifically last year. And this year, I mean, it's kind of tough to tell with all the plants, but when I actually start looking around, I'm finding volunteers, and this is a really great plant. So tucked back in behind my gecko, what may have looked like a blade of grass, because I have a lot of grass that grows in my garden beds, is this sable palmetto. I got another one back there, and so that is really awesome. Over here in the wild part of my yard, this is where I dispose of all my grass when I remove it from when put in the flower beds and edging. I will use the soil eventually. I had this show up and I wasn't sure what it was. Well, now I know what it is. Obviously it's a white crepe myrtle. Seems to like this spot. It's kind of it floods when it rains. So I actually think I'm going to keep it there. And then look at this. It's a little kooky. I have ricinus all over my yard. Let's get around here and have a better look at it. So I planted some last year. I bought them as purple. They weren't purple. And if you look at some of my past videos, they were about 15 feet tall. The end of the year, they were small trees. And this thing, we had a lot of rain the last week and a half. And wow. So who needs tetrapanics when you got these? So these will eventually flower, and I'll pretty much have ricinus as much as I possibly want. Look at the size of this. This was a tiny seedling like 2 months ago. I mean, come on. It's kind of cool because it's a bit of an ugly area, and it's done me a favor, this volunteer. So just remember, don't be so quick to pull those weeds.